100 depth is certainly one of the metas of all time. If you're playing the game and you're wondering why there are 5 people chasing you up and down the pitch constantly, I would say, wow, you might be getting lucky because that's just FC 24. 100 depth now, you got 7, 8 guys chasing you up and down the field. It's not fun. So how do we counter it? Well, I think that today's formation and tactics I've been using have really helped with that. I have all of a sudden soared through Elite Division, or to Elite Division from Division 1. I didn't play any rivals really until now, and rewards come out tonight, so tried to grind through. Ended up in Elite now, just got in there, and I didn't lose a game. So when you're in these high divisions, obviously they're playing 100 depth. We're going to talk about everything we need to in this video. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. The link is in the description. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. Obviously, tactics and instructions, also player roles. There's a couple very specific roles for this as well. I want to talk to you about when you want to switch to this formation also, because as you guys know, the 4-3-2-1, if you're very new to FIFA, is probably going to be the best formation in the game for you. It still is going to be with the 100 depth, of course. Now, this one does not have 100 depth, but it's 100 depth and probably direct passing as well. You guys know this by now. There's a trillion videos on YouTube you can go find with these instructions and tactics, so I won't really bother with it. If you want to copy them quickly, you can and just pause the video going through all of these, but I won't spend too much time on it. Most of you know by now that that's probably the best in the game, or at least one of. I think this, though, considering the 100 depth is now run by almost everybody, this is now the best pretty much formation in the game. So, okay, let's get into it now. This new formation is going to be the 3-4-2-1. When you're trying to beat 100 depth, the first thing you want to do is have a lot of width and obviously have a lot of guys getting forward to take advantage of those fullbacks being, and just the whole back line being really high at the pitch, right? So we'll get into player roles in a sec, like why is Zidane striker? I'll get into that once I'm done with the instructions and the tactics. So, okay, we're at 100 depth again here in the 3-4-2-1 balance. You can play with the depth if you want to, though. My chair is squeaking, I'm sorry. If you end up not being able to do 100 depth because maybe you're just struggling defensively, you can go down to like 71. Even then, you can go to 55 if you want to. I'd start with 100 though, because 100 depth is just overpowered in this game. It sucks, but EA decided that every team presses like Prime Barcelona this year, and you're gonna need an aspirin after playing 5 games. Balanced direct passing, I would not change that. Also would not change the width either from 60 up here defensively. I wouldn't change that. And in 50, I also think is the bare minimum. I think you can actually go higher than this if you want to. I would on 50 myself. Players in box, I have at 8. I would keep it on around 7 or 8, and then corners and free kicks are at 1. That you can do whatever you want to with. So when am I going to switch to this from the 4-3-2-1 if I start with that, right? Well, you can start with the 3-4-2-1 if you want to. That's just fine. I did that all day today and I didn't lose. But some of you who struggle defensively a little bit more might not like that. You can start with that, and once you notice they're either just the depth is really high for them or you're losing the ball a lot, the press is crazy, then you can just change to this. It's kind of a feeling thing. Obviously, when fullbacks are way up the pitch, it'll be pretty easy to tell as well. That's when I would switch to this. But okay, let's get into instructions now. Strikers on stay central and false 9, and then come back on defense as well. Once again, I have Zidane there. I'll explain why I have Zidane there in a little bit. The right forward and left forward now, we've got stay central and getting behind. That's the same on both the right forward and the left forward there. Pretty simple. Left mid and right mid are going to be come back on defense, stay wide, get in behind, stay on edge of box for cross. The only difference in one of your midfielders, I would change one of them from stay on edge of box for cross to get into the box for cross. So you see there, Diani's on get into the box, Udogi is on stay on the edge of the box. Pick one of your left and right mids is more of a defensive one. You know, Udogi's kind of more that traditional fullback. Diani's not really. You can swap sides if you want to, do whatever side you want. I just have it myself. My right mid is on get into the box for cross. My left mid is on stay on the edge of box for cross, but everything else stays the same. The center mids now, the both center mids are going to be on the same instructions. It's stay back while attacking, stay on edge of box, cover center. They're going to be your defensive help, basically. When you're trying to beat 100 depth, they'll be easy outlets as well, because you can ping long balls from Petit and Loftus-Cheek, because they both have long ball, plus to guys like Aubameyang, Kaká, Diani, Udogi, etc. And then center backs, obviously just normal, and then goalkeeper, I don't have anything, but you can do whatever you want to with that. So that's the instructions. Now, the roles are actually pretty important here. So I have Zinedine Zidane as the striker of this formation. You might say, why is Zidane your striker? Well, this is going to be your most important player in this team for sure, in my opinion. So spend up on him if you want to. I spent up and bought Zidane for like 2.3 million. You want a guy who preferably can dribble, can pass, and also probably has a shooting play style. So a prototypical cam makes a lot of sense. Zidane can defend. You could have defending as a bonus there, but the most important thing is that he's going to be on the ball a lot. He's on false 9. That means he's going to drift into open spaces a lot, not get in behind. You will have him on the ball a lot, so you want to be comfortable with that, and preferably a shooting play style as well. He's going to be in the box a lot to score. So Zidane is finesse plus, and finesse plus is so overpowered, but that's your most important player on your team. If you don't get that right, it's going to be harder. If you do get it right, like having the Zidane here, I mean, it's an incredible role for him. Nothing really matters if you're right and left forward too much. As you can see, all three of them, though, my front three has Finesse Plus. I low-key would recommend that, actually, at this point in the game. Finesse Plus is just so good that it's hard to not have it in your team in so many areas. Left mid and right mid, it just depends on what you like, really. Left mid is my more traditional fullback role. I have Udogi there. Long ball plus is always great as well right now at this time of the game. And then I will say your right and left mids, I would prefer one of them to have whip pass plus, and I would also prefer it to be the attacker, the more attacking side, because whip pass plus, when I can cross the ball to Kaká and Zidane when there's no fullback there, right? We're trying to take advantage of that fullback being gone, and I'll show you that in the clips. A lot of times you'll have open crosses, and you'll have crosses to height with being Kaká and Zidane, even Aubameyang has height actually, to chest it down and score. So whip pass plus is always great there. I think long ball pass is just so good right now that I would try and get it as many places as you can. You can see I have a long ball plus triangle here of Zidane, Petit, and Loftus-Cheek. I think that's just incredible. I think that is a fantastic play style plus right now, considering this 100 depth meta. You can go over the top and beat the press a lot, which is very, very important. So Petit and Loftus-Cheek both have it. I would recommend the same, actually. And also, to be flexible, I have Kyle Walker, who if I'm in a 4-3-2-1, can play right back really well. And if I'm in 3-4-2-1, he can play center back, right? So I have one of your defenders be versatile in that sense. You can switch between the two seamlessly then if you have a fullback that can play center back, whether that be your left back or your right back, right? So other than that, it's kind of all I gotta say. Keanu JP on Twitter is the one that found these tactics I showed you. I prefer these ones, that you try these ones first. I changed a couple things in mine, but I think it's very, like, I wouldn't recommend the things I do. So I want to shout out Keanu JP for these exact tactics. And here's my changes I make, which I wouldn't, I'm okay with having a little amount of defenders, which some of you are not going to be okay with that. So I actually have some of the midfielders not on stay back myself. I have it on not stay back while attacking, but I do have them on stay on edge of box for cross. This is what I have them on, and it's just so many guys forward then. But at the same time, I would try this one first, and if you like this formation as is, you can try that. But I just changed that up myself. I don't think I changed anything else here, actually. I don't think there's really anything else I changed. So yeah, let's get into now why it beats 100 depth. Okay, here's a clip of somebody in their standard 4-3-2-1, 100 depth, one fullback's on stay back, one's on get forward, right? You can see it from the radar if you look very closely. You can see his left back is stay back while attacking. His right back's getting forward. He made a run. Now he lost the ball. So I'm going to now start having to break the press here. He's got 3 mids and he's got 3 attackers. So let's start and try and break this press. Udogi gets the ball right here. I'm like, okay, trigger the long ball run immediately. Zidane, which is my striker, by the way, but he's all the way down here because this is what he does in false 9. He pings a long ball to Udogi, and then immediately already we did step 1, which is break the immediate press. You will see press more insane than that, just one clip there, but it just shows you trigger runs manually, double tapping L1, pointing a direction, or just passing to somebody and then L1X, right, will obviously trigger the run. So now that we're here, we have way more options, right? We're more comfortable on the ball. We beat that initial press, and his 100 depth is now going to hurt him because this actually now is a problem that I will show you in just one sec. So we press play. We're going to kind of pass the ball around a bit, just keep it. I'm going to show you why his 100 depth, once we get to this point, is actually more of an issue. And right here, this is where his 100 depth, when we have the ball, fucks him up because he has 3 guys running towards me, and his fullback, which is unbalanced, is gone. He's going up way too high. I know he's usering him, but this is what they do when they're not unbalanced. Or sorry, when they're not on stay back while attacking and are on balance, they'll fly up the field in 100 depth. So having that extra attacker now in the 3-4-2-1, I mean, look at the options I have here. If I pass back to Petit, I can swing it around really quickly, and luckily I just take my time because, like, I kind of know what this guy does in defense. He's kind of flying at me, but I immediately know that we're gonna end up with a great chance here because he already overcommitted too many guys over there, and I just keep working it around, and it's gonna be just too easy, right? His 100 depth is fucking him up because the gap between midfield and defense there, the back 4, was just too high. If you have balanced attackers at 100 depth, oftentimes see that gap in the midfield there, that no DM came back to come and help, right? So it's just too high a lot of the time. So what this can do too is on the ball it helps, and also breaking the press it helps. And explaining how to beat the press again in this clip here, you know, you're gonna be in this situation 100 times a game where you're right here with the ball. What do you do from here? And you'll see when I run with Diani, who's my right mid, which we have more wide options now, which is great. I even make a mistake, and I kind of run a little bit too far with her. You know, look at the press right now, just running, sprinting towards me. But see the idea? Trying to quickly pass it. Loftus-Cheek is going to go over the top of Diani, who would have just completely beat the press. Now I lost the ball. We're going to do the same thing again. Trust the process. Loftus-Cheek again. Diani again. We're going to switch it up this time because there's just so many players on that side of the pitch. We're going to do the same thing other side. Udogi, get the ball, quick trigger the L1 run, and then we just have so many options on each side now that something is always going to go right. I choked the finish, unfortunately. But you see the process where over the top, look over the top, either on your side or the other side constantly. So long ball plus is going to really help with that. Another example, I mean, look at this press, right? You know it's going to go crazy, especially in the elite division. Right here, all I'm trying to do is just find the long ball out wide. Fabinho has long ball plus with the center back, which is pretty rare. Immediately find the long ball. Now we can actually try and break this press, and we end up doing so, right? Because Zidane, once again, false nine god. And then boom, come in here, Aubameyang, and we score. So once you can immediately break that first press, then you have so many options in this formation that it's just so easy to capitalize off of the 100 depth. Any questions you guys have, let me know in the comments, of course. Subscribe for all kinds of FIFA content. Thanks for being here. I love you all. Thanks for everyone. Peace.